Good evening, music lovers. I'm here this evening with Brenna Green, who has just judged a day of our Young Hoosier State Piano Competition. Brenna started out as a young piano student and entered the competition. I've asked her to tell you a little bit about her music study and her career to this point.
Yeah, so I'm so glad to be back at Young Hoosier again after this little hiatus, and I'm excited for all the opportunities to come at future competitions. So my first experience with Young Hoosier was back in 2013. I entered as a middle schooler, I believe, yeah, and I continued up until 2019. So a few years of Young Hoosier competition that are really fond memories of getting pieces ready and deciding what repertoire I want to do the next year, different categories from ragtime to the composer of the year, and it was just a really great goal to work towards throughout the year, and I always look forward to it. My first piano lessons were with my mother, and then she went on to another teacher in the area who taught me up until high school, and then I took lessons with Cheryl. So I went on to Anderson University to study piano performance with Dr. Reginald Rogers, and Cheryl and Dr. Rogers are both highly involved with the Young Hoosier Piano Competition, so it's a great community that we have here. And from Anderson to Butler, I got my master's just this spring in piano pedagogy, and I studied with Dr. Kate Boyd. So after all of this piano schooling, I'm finally ready to start my own studio and take on new students and get them introduced to the Young Hoosier Piano Competition.
Well, Brenna, you have really come up through the ranks, and we're really proud of all you've accomplished. If you had advice for the young ones entering now, or the mid-teens, what would your advice be based on your experience?
I would say don't be afraid to try a new genre than what you're used to. I was predominantly interested in classical repertoire, which is, I know, unusual for some pianists of my age, but I was really serious about that. Then I visited the Scott Joplin Museum in St. Louis, Missouri, heard his piano rolls that he recorded on his own piano, and then I felt compelled to explore ragtime some. And that's been a source of balance from classical repertoire. So don't be afraid to try something new. Use this as an opportunity to explore new music that you haven't tried yet. And then it's also great to treat this as a goal to work towards. You may have recitals through your own piano teacher, but you can use this opportunity for further performance and just honing your preparedness and your performance skills.
The judges for today have just been treated to a wonderful recital. Brenna played her master's recital last weekend, and we were judging and not able to go. So she played for us this evening, and we do have an audience here tonight. I'd like to ask if anybody in the audience would like to ask any questions of Brenna.
I have a question. Brenna, how does it feel to be a judge?
It is a bit surreal. I feel like I'm still thinking of being in the shoes of the pianist, but that's actually helpful to have been in this exact situation that they are in now, and that helps me inform what to write them in the comments, some things that are very helpful to them. But it is surreal. I'm enjoying the experience very much so.
Do we have any other questions?
I have a question. Do you miss competing at all?
What I liked about competing was always choosing new repertoire to prepare. So that hasn't gone away. I still miss getting to see all the judges as a performer, but if I am involved still, then I don't miss that quite as much. So I can create a similar sort of self-motivation that way. Coming here, judging, seeing the pianist perform, then I feel motivated to practice on my own.
I was going to ask who was your nicest piano teacher, but I'd probably get in trouble with that answer maybe. So,
Well, since there are two of us in the room,
I have two here, so I'll have to say my mother. Because
Yeah.
I love my mom.
Yeah. Dr. Rogers, you might want to come into frame so that they can see you as one of her teachers as well.
Is this close enough?
So that we know this wasn't.
Yes. So now we have both of her teachers there.
okay.
Okay.